without further ado, Greg Dwyer is here today to make your job of selling real estate easier and more effective. As an expert in misdirection and focus, skills he honed through his unique experience as a magician, Greg has powerful insights that go beyond entertainment. He's not here to perform tricks, but here to share his proven 4-step process to help you make focus automatic in your daily work. Are you ready to unlock the power of focus and transform your approach to your goals? Please welcome Greg Dwyer, everybody.
The lack of focus is why we have a lack of greatness. I wish I had said that. I know I just said that. Jerry Seinfeld said that. Brilliant, harsh, and true. How often have you gotten focused on something that's important, like selling real estate, buying real estate, helping people do the same thing, and you got distracted? Maybe on politics, the things that are happening in the industry, and then focus simply disappears. What if focus were a habit so that your success was that automatic? That's my promise. Before 2:15, I'm going to show you 4 steps that when you combine them together will create a habit so that your success is automatic. That's my promise. Now, people who try to get focused, they tend to rely on tricks and techniques and best practices, like avoid caffeine or work offline. Those are all fine. It's a good place to start. But as a magician in the 70s, I learned this point. This is my first point. The conscious mind is distracted. So let me show you. Put everything away. Take your 2 hands like this. Your thumb should be pointing up. You really have to focus. And what you do is you take the left and you bring it over to the right. Just like this. So you got 2 hands facing, thumbs up, bring the left over the right. Then what you're going to do, and I can't see everybody in the back, but you're going to bring it down just like this and hold it tight. Now, if you're doing it right, your pinkies are at the top, your thumbs are at the bottom. I can't see everybody in the room, but if you're doing it right, that's how the situation is. Now, just simply do this. Ready? Watch me and just follow along. Simon says, ready? Here we go. So how did I do it? Misdirection. I really wish you could have been with me. The year was 1972. I was at my grandparents'. Big Italian family. I'm Irish and Italian. Big Italian family. 34 people in my grandparents. Everybody is talking at the same time. Everybody's eating. This is long before cell phones. This is long before the internet. And there was a lot of distraction in the room. And all of a sudden, my uncle, Victor Riley, who didn't need to kiss the Florence Stone, this guy, he was an entertainer, also a smooth character. He picked up a quarter. He said, Gregory, look at me. Well, look up here, Gregory. And he goes like this, and the quarter's gone. Uncle Vic, what? I'm 10 years old, Christmas Day, on my birthday. I've never seen anything like this. Uncle Vic, how did you do it? He says, Greg, I can't tell you. I says, I can keep a secret. He says, yeah, Greg, so can I. So he didn't tell me, but I begged him. I was pretty strong-willed and focused. And I said, Uncle Vic, teach me. So eventually he taught me. And what he did, he introduced me to misdirection. And misdirection taught me 2 tricks, which I'm going to share with you. The first one is multitasking, and the other one is information overload. Multitasking. We were talking about this just before I came up on stage. It's crazy. 400,000 people every year in America get hurt behind the wheel because they're driving to work or going someplace to show a house or do something, and they reach for the cell phone at the wrong time. 400,000 people in America get hurt. We pick up our cell phone on average, we tap it, we swipe it, we click it over 2,617 times a day. When people get to a normal job, and I know most of you don't work a normal job, right, because you're an entrepreneur like me, when they get to work, they waste 12 and a half hours per week. Now, some of you that are really analytical, do the math. 12 and a half hours behind a cubicle working for somebody else every week. Somebody actually figured it out. $650 billion is wasted in America because people go to work, punch a clock, and they're not engaged. $650 billion. And sadly, 4,000 people every year die because they're driving to work, and they look at their cell phone, and it's the last time. That's deadly. You know what else is deadly? When you're sitting down with somebody that you want to help to buy or sell, and you're thinking about yourself, that's deadly. Or you're thinking about the commissioner, how you're going to get the paperwork in front of them and explain the details. Or you're going to reach for your cell phone. Because what these people want to know is they can trust you, that you like them, and they're going to help them. And they know if you're multitasking. And multitasking is not good, especially in relationship sales. But you already know that. So the other one is information overload. Now hopefully I'm not giving you too much information, but there was a guy by the name of George Miller that wrote a paper many, many years ago called The Magical Number of 7. And what he said was, there's billions of bits of information that are going on right now in this room, but you can only focus on about 7 bits of information, give or take a couple. You can't focus on everything. Now, if you want to see this online, you go online and you type in monkey business illusion. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Do it later. Monkey business illusion. In fact, if you want to see the video of this, I'll give it to you. You just have to email me. So don't worry about taking notes. 2 teams. A team wearing black, another team wearing white. They're passing the basketball. Has anybody ever seen this? Raise your hand if you have. The monkey business illusion? Nobody? So they bring in a group of people and they say, look, just focus on one team. The team that's wearing the black jersey, and count how many times they pass the basketball. Don't focus on the other white team. They're all wearing white. Just focus on the one. Spoiler alert, the number 16. So if you count, and you're doing it really focused, you come up with 16. But then, in the middle of the demonstration, they have a guy about 7 foot tall, walks out in a gorilla suit, right in the middle, beats his breast, goes like this, and only 50% of the people saw the monkey. It's crazy. Because we can only focus on just one person. We can't focus on everybody. It's impossible. So if you want to see this, just go online, and you'll know, and you'll see the monkey. Now, I don't have a monkey or a gorilla, but it'd be like this. If I said to you, look around the room right now for 7 things that are red, like the exit sign over there, oh, I have a red tie, that's 2. You could look around the room, and it would be easy to come up with 7 things that are red, right? Easy. You know, every single one of you could say this, done. But then, if I said now, focus on 7 things that were blue, like the sign in the back's blue, you could do that. And then if I added another 7 things, and another 7 things that are red, another 7 things that are blue, you would have information overload. So, when you're sitting with a client, right, or you're sitting with a friend, you want to help them buy or sell, maybe not overwhelm them with all of the details of all the things that have changed in the last 12 months. Rather, just let them know that you're there. You're there for them. So they brought the same group in. The same group came in, they watched the movie, they watched the video, The Monkey Business Illusion. They said, yeah, you can count the times they pass it, but just focus on the gorilla this time. So they did. So they showed the video to the same people. They said, did you see the gorilla? They go, yep. Every one of them did. They're like, they said, hey, did you notice the curtain changed colors? It was red, now it's blue. Nobody noticed. Nobody did. So, I'm pretty sure nobody noticed how I did this. Would you like to learn? Yeah. All right. So if you go to Vegas, you go to MGM, you'll see David Copperfield, a friend of mine. He walks out. This is how he opens the show. You have to promise that when you leave here, you don't tell anybody. So I'm going to share it with you, but you can show it. You can show it to your friends, but just don't tell anybody. Is that okay? Everybody say it? Okay. Okay, so why don't you stand up, put everything aside. I'm going to show you real quick how I did this. Ready? Put everything aside, you just need your fingers and your hands. All right? Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the left, you're going to put it over the right. Now that's what I did, right? And then I said, now this is your second time through, so you're seeing it a little differently. I said, do this. And you did that. Go ahead. Now, I said, I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. I can't see in the back, but if you're doing it right, watch me. Your pinkies are up here, and your thumbs are at the bottom at that point, and let go.
Oh.
That's it. But because you were focusing on the process, and then I regained it, right? I regained it, and I had the advantage. So now, before you sit down, let's do it together. All right? Shake your hands out like this. All right? Take your left over your right. Switch it like this. Now, this time I want you to focus on me when I let go. All right? Now, this is where I said this is where the thumbs are. But I don't have to. Because I already did. What, Kyle? Now, before you sit down, turn to your neighbor. You have 30 seconds. Explain to them how you get distracted in real estate. Turn to your neighbor. You have 30 seconds. Explain to your neighbor. 30 seconds. Go. Stand up. Stay standing up. Explain to your neighbor. So, who would like to share? Raise your hand. Who would like to share? Anybody? Yes, all the way in the back.
So one of my distractions is getting emotionally and personally involved.
Getting emotionally and personally involved. And how is that a distraction?
Because it can take away from the day-to-day stuff.
I did that 27 years ago.
I can't hear you. Can somebody run a mic? Can somebody run a mic?
I'm sorry?
So personal involvement, distraction, emotional connection. So tell me more, because I'm not a mind reader.
I'm sorry, what was it? I didn't hear what you said.
I said elaborate, just elaborate.
Oh, just because you might be focusing on what, like, if I'm focusing on like how they're feeling and stuff like that, sometimes it can take away from looking for the end goal.
So are you saying you're more of an empath?
I'm absolutely.
Oh, okay. I kind of get that. I see you, I can feel that, I get that. Anybody else, something like, because we're going to solve this. Like, I'm not just showing up to entertain you. I want to help you make a shift so that this doesn't happen. So yes?
Squirrel.
Yeah.
No, really, when I'm working in an environment when everything's like not in its place, if I'm home and the dishes need to be done or something around me, I need to have everything in its place before I start working.
Yep. Yep. And why don't we take one more? Anybody? Yes?
When I'm working from home and the UPS guy shows up and the dogs go nuts and I'm trying to talk on the phone.
Right.
It's pretty distracting.
Okay, so the conscious mind, if you're writing this down and you want to see the video afterwards, the first point is the conscious mind distracted. Easily distracted. Easily. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking, well, maybe the answer is the unconscious. That's what I think. So the year was 1973. I was at my parents' house. The television was on. My mother was sitting next to me, and all of a sudden a trailer, a movie, started up. Anybody have any idea what movie it was that? Some people say E.T., some people say Judge No, it was The Exorcist. It was The Exorcist. Yeah, pretty scary movie. My mom, really religious, she sent money to the Pope, she sent money to Billy Graham, she had it all covered, but she rolled her eyes. I mean, she was a good Italian, you know, really into it, but she rolled her eyes and she said, Gregory, I can't wait. And I'm like, Mom, it's just a movie. She said, Gregory, listen to me. It's not just a movie. The conscious mind is easily distracted. The unconscious can get stuck, and that's what she was trying to teach me. So let me explain what she said to me. She says, programming is when people are saying something over and over and over again so that it sinks into your unconscious mind. Politicians use it, salespeople use it, I've been using it on you since I got here, even before I got here, and I'm going to teach you a little secret. This stuff sticks in your brain. Finish my sentence. You deserve a break today at McDonald's. That commercial hasn't been on for years. No, don't squeeze the...
Charmin.
Where's the... So this is programming. Programming is when people say something and do something over and over again so it sinks into your mind. And my mom was trying to get this across to me, and I was a kid, I was like 11 years old. I said, Mom, I don't really believe any of this stuff, but it come to find out she was telling me the truth. Now there's a difference between programming and conditioning. Now conditioning is what you, me, us do to ourselves. People who study this say we have about 45 to 65,000 thoughts every single day. And 90% of our thoughts are repeated the next day. Let me say that again. 45 to 65,000 thoughts every single day, and 90% of your thoughts. So today's Tuesday, tomorrow's the 18th. 90% of what you're thinking now, you're going to be thinking tomorrow. 50%, like 48 to be exact, is a habit. It's what you say, it's what you think, it's what you do. It kind of reminds me of that movie Groundhog Day. Anybody see that? Yeah, Bill Murray. Rise and shine, campers, and don't forget your booties because it's cold outside. It's Groundhog Day. Now, that movie is great when you're watching it once a year. It's not so great when you have all these goals about reaching 100,000 or more in real estate, and you find yourself stuck. And you're saying to yourself, I'm taking 2 steps forward and then 1 step back, right? Have you ever felt that way? Like you want to break through and there's this invisible thing that's holding you back. My mom was right, God rest her soul. It's the unconscious. The unconscious has us stuck with our programming and our conditioning. Who can relate to this, what I'm saying? Who can relate to the movie, right? Okay, well, I don't know if you want to, is there anybody here that wants to share? I know we're in a professional situation, but do you find yourself like there's this barrier that's holding you back? Anybody? Who? I think we have a hand. Yeah, okay. Thank you for being brave and courageous. Oh, anybody? Anybody? Kyle's up front. Kyle? Last minute?
Like being okay with being like, oh no, I already did it well last time, I'll just do it this time, and then I put myself in risk for not doing it right.
Okay. So like procrastination?
In a way, and also getting cocky.
Okay, all right. And do you see those patterns like, you know, Bill Murray being cocky? Remember the movie? Remember he...
I just can't get it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes. And go ahead. Just stand up and say it.
I'm aware of all the problems that I have on my day-to-day basis that are holding me back. I'm aware of all my problems that I have day-to-day basis that are holding me back, and then I'll try to tell myself I'm gonna work on one of them, and then I end up trying to work on all of them simultaneously at the same time, and then that holds me back.
Okay. Yeah, just too much, right? It's just multitasking and information overload, which we talked about. Well, let me share one with you, and it's very personal. I started noticing, I just turned 60, I'm going to be 62, I'm in my 60s, so I'll be 62 on Christmas, but I started seeing a pattern in my own life, in my professional life, in my personal life. My mom died when I was in high school, it was 1978, and I didn't expect it, like no one in my family expected it. It was like, I felt like the rug was being pulled out from me. I was like 15 years old, and my father told me my mom had cancer, she died within 10 months. But when you're 15 years old, you pretty much bounce back. You know, I didn't go to alcohol or drugs. I didn't do anything. I was always rebellious. I was always self-willed. I think that's what saved me. But I survived it. You know, you move on, right? So I moved out. I was 16 years old. I went to college, got a bunch of degrees, overachiever, type A, a little bit of a nerd. And then I got married. And I started seeing patterns. I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of what the lessons that I learned from my mom and the lesson I learned from my uncle with the coin trick. I didn't get it. But then I started seeing patterns, you know, like you said, cockiness or being arrogant, right? Is that what you said, Kyle?
Basically.
Right. And I started seeing these patterns over and over again. And I got a bunch of degrees after my name, and I got a great job, was making a lot of money, got married, and then I lost my job. And then my wife left. And this is true, I'm not making this up. I hit bottom. Like I hit bottom so hard that one day I went outside and I looked down the ground and I didn't know what season it was in. I didn't know if we were in spring going into summer. I didn't know if we were winter going. I had no idea for about 45 seconds what season it was in. There was a rock on the ground, there was some little bit of snow and leaves, and for like 45 seconds, I was so confused. That's how shocked I was. And I knew that I couldn't stay stuck. I knew that I had to find help, and I needed to find a coach. Someone would help me. And lo and behold, the phone rang, and I got a call to go to London, England. And it's true, I went to London. It was my first international speaking event. I'm in London, and I'm giving this sales training to about 45 people, and someone in the audience says, yeah, I really like this. I like the sales training. It's about relationships. It's not about, closing tactics. And so he said to me, I want you to come to Vegas. I said, okay. So I went to Vegas. A lot of times people like what they hear, so they invite me to other conferences. That's how I make a living, word of mouth, and so this is what happened. That night, there was a party, and it was people that were executives in the entertainment industry, in Vegas, performers, and also people behind the scenes. And there was a guy by the name of Kenton Nepper that I wanted to be close to. I wanted to network with him because he was a genius. He is a genius. He's a wizard. He's an entertainer. He's a performer. And I call him my friend today. But I wanted to get close to him because I wanted him to teach me what he knew. Because the fastest way to get out of a rut, the fastest way to change your unconscious or to change your conscious mind is find somebody that's already done it so you can compress decades into days or years. Because, how many years do we have? We don't have that many. So I wanted to work with him. So I got to know him. I went to a conference or two with him. And finally, I got up the courage to ask him to coach me and mentor me. And I paid him a lot of money. And I moved into his house. I moved into his house. His wife left. It was only for 2.5 days. And we worked around the clock. We worked till midnight. Like he'd say to me, you want to, And I can't explain to you everything that I learned from him because it would be totally impossible. But what I did is I wrote some books about it. And I put it on this digital download where you can download all of the files with like 10 or 15. I sell this for $100. The good news is it's not for sale. I'll tell you how you can get it for free. And it is truly free. But I can't teach you everything he learned that he taught me, but the one thing that I did not know that he explained to me was if you're going to hack your mind, if you're going to hack the conscious and the unconscious, the way to do it is you have to align your mind. So I was working with a client not too long ago, and they said, I want to make $100,000 a year. And I said, okay. Have you ever made $100,000 before? No. I said, do you have written goals? No. First place to start. By a show of hands, be honest, don't lie. It's usually 100 people, it's 1 or 2 or 3. How many people in this room, you know what I'm going to ask you, right? How many of you have written goals? True, be honest, all right? So it's not everybody, which is okay. That means you can leave today and you can start over. Having written goals are really important. Knowing what you want is really important. When someone writes down, okay, I want to make $100,000 a year in real estate, and I've done a little bit of research, I think it's like 1%. It's not 50%, it's not 25%. It's doable, but the reason I think people hit a wall is because of focus and distraction. So let's say someone says, I'm going to make next year, 2025, I'm going to make $100,000 a year, and they write it down on a card, like an index card. That's the conscious mind. The unconscious is stuck at $50,000. That's how much I've made, that's how my parents made, everybody I know, all my circle of friends, everybody I know is at $50,000. So you have a goal, you say you're going to make 100, you get constantly distracted, and then you're stuck at $50,000. What Kenton taught me in 2.5 days, working with him around the clock, is the answer is really simple. You have to align your mind. And the way to do that is with your imagination. That's the way you change things. That's the only way you can change your mind. So, how would you like to be able to do this right now? Right now, change your mind. Take your hands like this. Bring them together, hold up your 2 index fingers, and look at the space between your fingers. And as you're looking at the space between your fingers, you're going to notice that your fingers are coming together because you're using your imagination, and slowly and slowly and slowly, they are coming together. Did you get it, Kyle? Did it work for you? Okay, all right. So here's another one. Ready? I need a volunteer, but I don't want to pick anybody. And I don't want to pick anybody that wants to be up here. I want to pick somebody that's really, really good at their imagination. So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to weed you out by finding out who has an imagination and who doesn't. In my hand is a lemon, right? In my hand is a lemon, and in the other hand is a knife. Now, take your hand and put it out just like me, mirror me, and take the lemon that you have in your hand and put it up to your nose and smell it. Some of you are saying, this is crazy. That's okay, that's fine. Some of you are saying, I can actually smell it. Then take the knife and then cut it, and as you're cutting it, you'll see that the juice is coming down your arm. Coming down your arm, coming down your arm. And then you're going to bite into the lemon. Who really felt it? This gentleman here? Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Raise your hand if you felt it. Lady in the back? Okay. Not everybody. Not everybody. So I'm prepared. I have a lemon. All right. I stole it from the other table there at my conference. They gave me. Okay. All right. So now I'm trying to help you because the key is imagination. If you want to align the conscious and the unconscious, the key is the imagination. The imagination opens up doors. Einstein talked about it as well. So do it again with me. Ready? Got a lemon, hold out your hand, you got a lemon, got a lemon, got a lemon, hold out, play with me, and then smell it, smell it. Okay, good. Then take the knife, you're going to make believe, this is imagination, right? You're going to cut into it, and then the juices are going to come down your arm. Now watch me, watch me. You might be able to feel this inside your mouth, in the saliva of your mouth. Okay, ready? Okay, who honestly felt it that time? Did you? What's your name? Denise. Denise, did you feel it? Did you? Good, good, good. We'll talk about that afterwards. What about anybody over here? Anybody? Anybody? Did anybody else feel it?
My mouth waters.
Did your whose mouth water? Yeah? Do you want to help? Denise is going to help, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Denise. Oh no, this will be fun. This will be fun. Now, the reason why I just stand over here to put it, the reason why I picked Denise is because she has a great imagination. Denise has a great imagination because number one, she saw the lemon. Did you see the lemon first?
I didn't see it.
You didn't. You smelled it. Okay. Did you feel it, taste it? Ah, okay, so, all right, so matching and hearing, she followed me. Here's the deal. Open that up. Come a little closer. I know. There was no lemon. Show it. Imagination. And I had a knife. This is a fork. So between the two, give her a round of applause. All right. So here's the four-step process. I promised that I would share with you the four-step process. So we're going to go through with Denise. You can get the video for me later, or you can take notes, or you can just be in the room, right?
You can all put your cameras down.
Yeah. For the next, we're going to be done on time so that everything's focused. Okay? You're going to see her go through the process so that you can go through the process at home. I paid a lot of money for this, and it literally has changed my life. Literally has changed my life. I travel around the world. It's not about me. I want to help Denise, and in the process of helping Denise, I want to show you what Kenton taught me. So, without telling me, Denise, can you think of a goal for 2025? Like a smart goal, you know what a smart goal is, right? Something that is attainable and smart, and, you know. Can you think of something that you don't mind sharing with everybody, right? That is tied to real estate. Now it could be 100,000, it could be 200,000, it could be selling 25,000, something concrete. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say, and you want it to be realistic, okay? You want it to be realistic. So here's the key. Denise just asked me, do I have to write it down? Yes. Now here's the reason why. Your conscious mind, I think Kyle said or somebody said about being a squirrel, your conscious mind is constantly distracted. There are millions of opportunities in the room. There's millions of opportunities in the world. You have to first think it and then ink it and take it down and write it down. And it has to be specific, right? So the more specific it is, the more attainable it will be. If you say something like, I want to make more money, that's not specific enough. I want to be successful in real estate. That's not specific enough. I want to be successful. What does that mean? So it has to be concrete and it has to be legible so everybody can see it. We're going to have you write it in a moment. Do you have something in mind? Okay, and you're okay with sharing it. Not with me. So what you're going to do is you're going to write it like a license plate. You know, bold. On here, and I'll turn my back, and you can turn your back too. Good? Okay, good. Cap the pen so I don't get any incoming. Oh, these pens are, these are nice. And then face down so that I cannot see it. Okay. Now, if I were to show this to people afterwards, they would know. They would know. They could see it. Yes? I'm asking. Okay. So, true story. I don't know how you feel about these people. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were at a wedding. They were sitting side by side. Somebody comes up to them and says, Bill, Warren, I want you to write down, this is a true story, you can look this up. I want you to write down exactly the key to your success. You know what they said? Close. The word was focus. You didn't write down focus, did you? Okay. So they both, now these are two, whether you like them or do not like them, they're both successful people, and they both wrote down the word focus. So the first step is to write something down. The first step is to get really clear on what you want. The second step is to see it. Okay? Have you ever been hypnotized? Yes. When did that happen? Okay, and what was that experience like?
I don't know, I wasn't watching.
Okay, all right. Was it like on stage in Vegas, or was okay? Okay, this is not going to be that type of hypnosis. Okay, no. This is going to be real hypnosis in the sense that you want to see what you wrote. So the first step is to write it down. The second step is to see it in your imagination. So do you like the water? Do you like the beaches? Do you like boats? Okay, so some people are afraid, and I don't want to bring them into a situation like, oh, I can't stand water. All right, so, oh, good. Yeah. All right, I can see you moving back and forth. You're kind of going back and forth. Remember you on a cruise? Yeah, you're still doing it. I'm like, okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to be present, and look at that, and I want you to think of being on a boat. Maybe it's a cruise, maybe it's a ship, and the ship is going back and forth, and it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. And you are celebrating, you said your husband, right? With your husband because you've already established and completed the task at hand. In other words, you've already have it. So it's not something you have to get to, you already have it. You've already achieved what you wrote down. So first she writes it down and then she sees it. And she's a very good person. Now just close your eyes. All right, now great. I want you to see the sun, I want you to see the clouds, I want you to hear the birds, I want you to see the color of the sky, the crashing of the waves. Is this morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? What time of day is it? It's midday, great. All right. Is it 12 o'clock? Is it 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock? What time is it? All right, it's 2 o'clock. Open your eyes. Open your eyes and take this. Now, as you look at this, I want to show you how powerful your words are and your thoughts. Because as you're looking at this, Denise, it's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is how powerful your thoughts are to creating the reality. All right, now we're going to stop it. And now it's going to go in a circle. Instead of back and forth, it's going to go like a father clock or hands of a clock. You're going to notice it goes round and round, round and round, round and round, round. These are suggestions we give ourselves every single day. This is what we say to ourselves. Okay, good. All right. Of all the people I've worked with in the last year, she is very intelligent, very much using her imagination, and I'm very grateful. This is wonderful. So she writes down what she wants. She only knows what it is. Then she sees it. She sees that she's already accomplished this. Now, true story. I think it was Drew Carey. Drew Carey wanted to go on the Tonight Show. I don't know if you knew Drew. He was in Cleveland. I was in Cleveland many years ago. A friend of mine went to high school with him. And he imagined that he was going to go on the Tonight Show. And every single day he just thought. And then eventually he's on the Tonight Show. I wanted to meet David Letterman many years ago. And it's a long story, but I made it happen in my imagination. 6 million people saw me. It's a crazy story. Not everything I see I make happen, all right? I had a feeling I was going to be here today, but that's because, you know, she hired me. But it's possible to use your imagination. Now, the next thing is what you want to do is you want to use your words. You want to use your words. Your words are powerful. What you say about yourself and about your experience is really, really powerful. The word abracadabra, does anybody know what the word abracadabra means? I create as I speak. So you create your reality by what you say, by what you write, what you see, and by what you say. So I have these cards, there's 52 of them, but they're unique because they have emotions on them. Joyful, kindness, joy, they're all different, right? Every word, patience, sincerity, trust, these are all good emotions that we want to move towards. We want to move towards positive emotions. But, you know, there's the other side of the story, right? So the other side of the story is hateful, depressed, anxious. These are vanity, we were talking about that earlier, upset. See, so every single card is different. The black and whites are negative emotions or emotions you want to move away from. And then the other ones that are very colorful are ones you want to move towards. Your emotions are picked up by the people you're around, you know, and you can't control your emotions because it's a mixture. Every day you have different emotions, things go up and down and they change. But let's see where we are here with you today. Oh, this is good. What does that say? Confident. Okay, so face the audience and stand how you would stand when you are confident. Okay? And there you go. Okay. Body open, right? And so, are you saying anything to yourself in your head, or is it just your body language? Okay. All right, good. All right, so put the card behind your back and face me. Just behind your back. We'll do another shuffle. And we'll pick another card. Now, in the process of this, Denise, I would like you to say, I can't. Say it out loud. I know, she's stuck in confidence. That's why I asked you to put it behind your back. So I want you to go to a different place. Say, I can't. I can't read. I can't read, right? So, can you read? No. Leave your glasses off. Can you read this? Oh, be careful. Can you read this? Okay. So say it out loud.
No.
I can't, or I can't read. So conditioning and programming, people say things over and over again, right? So it's not fair because I'm so far away. All right, now if I brought it closer, would it help? Okay, Say, I can't. I can't read. I can't read. Say, I can't read. Say it with great confidence.
I can't read.
What does that say?
I can't read it.
Imagination. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Bring out the card. Bring out the card. What does that say? What does this say now? Ah, that's what it always said. Yes, it is. So take a look at that. Now you have a choice. Face the audience. You have a choice between confidence and indecision. Ah, thank you. I will put that at the bottom, and she's going to hold on to confidence. So far, what she wrote, right? What she sees, what you say. Now, do you feel the difference?
I literally could not read that card.
But did you feel the difference when you couldn't, right? Why don't you pick up your glasses, because I don't want to have you sit on it. All right. So, somebody said to me out at the lunch, are you going to hypnotize us? Well, we're all hypnotized. And we are the greatest hypnotists ourselves. It's what we say to ourselves. It's the information. So we're taking her through a process. There's one more step. And the step is action. So you write it, you see it, you say it, and this is where most people drop the ball. They don't take action. And they don't take consistent action. And the reason why is they don't think they're going to do anything. Or they don't think they're going to be successful. Or the program got them stuck. So you wrote something down. You saw it. You feel good about it. Say it in your head. You already have it. So she's saying it. We're going to put her to a test. I have envelopes. I have 3 envelopes. One envelope is going on this chair. This envelope is going on the other chair. And the other envelope is going on the last chair. In one of these envelopes is your destiny, is a green card. And green means go, green is growth, green is what you want. In the other 2 envelopes, I have red cards or pink cards, right? I didn't put words on them because colors and symbols, they go into your subconscious mind a lot faster. And if you get the red card, it's stop. And if you get the green, it's go. So I'm looking at your body language. How do you feel? All right, so stand away. You stand and feel confident, all right? And I'm going to ask you in a few minutes to sit in front of one of the chairs that represents the envelope that you're going to select, okay? All right, tell me when to stop. All right, stop. I will stop there. I will put one envelope over here. I will put one envelope over here. And I will put one envelope over here. I'll take the card. Do you want to hold on to it? Do you want to hold on to it? Well, it's not necessarily in the card, it's in you. So stand behind these 3. No, not yet. You're going to take a seat in a moment. But you're going to take a seat either there, or here, or here. Now I want you to just, first of all, visualize. Visualize what you wrote down. Okay? You got that? You remember doing that a few minutes ago? You got the picture. All right. And I want you to say to yourself what you were saying to yourself. Got that as well? All right. So you wrote it, you see it, you say it, now you must do it. You have to take a risk in business. You have to advertise, you have to talk to people, you have to network. One of these cards has a green card in it, the other one has red. Sit in front of the chair that represents the one you want. So I'm not going to ask her to change her mind because that would be indecision. So she has selected that one. Hold on to the watch. I will open this. How do you feel about this so far? Okay. So we got we got this, we got this, we got this. So what do we got? 50-50? Why don't you stand up since we know you're committed? No, behind your envelope. But how do you feel right now? You have a chance to either have it or not have it. How do you feel? Well, take a look at the time. Take a look at the time. What's it say? What time did you thought? Yeah. She thought of 2. 2 o'clock, do you remember that? It's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. How confident do you feel? It is right there. Don't pick it up. Okay. You know. All right. Now when I show you the green card, a lot of applause. For Denise. For Denise. For Denise. For Denise. In fact, I'll let you keep the green card. All right, at this time I take questions, so I really want to know what you think. I want to, hear if you have any questions, or if there's anything I can help you with. So maybe we could run the mic if that's possible. I'm not sure if that's possible. Or if you just have any questions, you can just stand up and speak as loud as you want.
What did she write on the card?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say, wait a minute, Denise, let me just say something. You wrote something on the card. Oh, wait a minute. It had to do with real estate, right? Did it have to do with Costa Rica? You want to sell something in Costa Rica? What is it? Oh, yeah. I'm close, yes. What is it? Okay, there you go. Yeah, I had a feeling it was Property International. Give her a hand for that. Thank you. To say that. That was really nice. Yeah, Costa Rica. I got that, but I didn't. Yeah, they're very nice. Yeah. You're on your way, sweetheart. Okay. Any other questions? Do you have any questions? Oh, yes. I want to show them. That's what. In fact, I should give this back to you. It says, buy a second home in Costa Rica. Very nice. Yes, it does. Yeah. That's great. I think it is the one you picture. I definitely do believe it's the one you picture. So, anybody have a question about the lecture that I can help you clarify any of the details? You got a few minutes. Yes. My mother is psychic. My mom was psychic. My sister's psychic, and I do pick up on. I knew the lady in the back was, the empathy. Any questions? No questions? No questions at all? Another what? You want me to start from the beginning? No, I have plenty of material, but nobody has anything? They're just shy, I think.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So when you're swinging the gold necklace.
Oh, you mean a watch?
Yeah, the watch, and she's visualizing on
Yes.
it.
Her eyes are going back and forth, back and forth, back.
Can you do that to yourself?
Yes, it's auto-suggestion, yeah. You don't, yeah, we all do this, yes. You do, yes. You do it all the time, but you can do it intentionally. Here's the key, this is the key. Whatever you want, you get very clear on writing it down. It has to be a smart goal. You can't say, I want to go to the moon tomorrow. It's not going to happen, right? So it has to be a smart goal. It has to be realistic. It has to be time sensitive, right? So you write it down and you get very clear, because once you write it down, you're taking something that's in your thought and you're making it physical. That's the first step. Then you see it, and then you say it, and then you take daily steps towards it, right? Listen, when I first started in sales back in the 90s, when I first made my sales call, I was nervous. But then over the years, I got to the point where I'm a salesperson. Like, I love to sell. I was talking with a friend the other day, why do you do what you do? I love sales. I absolutely, but it didn't happen automatically. It happened as I conditioned myself and reprogrammed my identity. So yes, the answer is absolutely yes. Yes. That help?
tell us how you pulled that off?
Which part?
Knowing the
outfit and
answer.
tie? She said to dress for success. Now, what are you talking about? What specifically do you want to know?
How you got the answers to her question, how you knew what she was thinking.
Okay.
How you knew where the green card was.
If Susie asks me to come back next year, I will teach you how to know what people are thinking without being a mind reader. And it all has to do with... So here's, Susie already knew where she was going to go. I want to tell you, and we don't have time to get into this because of the time constraint, but it is possible to know what another person is thinking. Especially if you're in real estate, you're dealing with a husband and wife or two people in partnership, you can pick up vibes. So this guy's really intellectual, he wants to know about the details of the square footage, this person just wants to have fun. So I have an audio series that talks about this. It's a 4-week series. It is free. I don't sell you anything. I'm selling you, but I'm selling you on the fact that it's free. And it's 4 steps that talks about body language, NLP, eye accessing cues, and how to maybe be psychic without trying to be psychic. So if you'd like that information, just give me your email on your way out, and I can get that to you. But I believe all of us are psychic to such extent, sure. Yeah. So, any other questions? So I have this card. I sell this for $95. It has 10 audio and video and books on it from Kenton Nepper, my mentor, and also me. I'm not selling it. I didn't make any arrangements to sell any product today. I'm going to give this away. Who wants this?
For God's sake, I'm coming to get it. That's what you're looking for.
I've been looking for you all my life. What are you going to do? Mia, give her a hand. So that's the summary of my whole lecture. Some of you were saying, I can't go up there.
I was coming, but I couldn't get by.
That's what she was saying. That's what she was saying. So what just happened was the whole summary of my lecture. Write it, see it, say it, do it. That's it. So I have good news. I have a 12-week course for all of you. No cost. It's 12 weeks. It talks about focus. You're not going to remember most of this. When you leave here today, you know, you'll remember some of it, but motivation goes down. So this is the reason I did this. I put together 12 weeks so that you can get this information in bite size. And they're on the table. I have one for everyone in the room. All you do is you just take a picture of the QR code, right? And you have a 12-week course on focus, a little bit about hypnosis, but really how to connect with your prospects and your customers so that they know you really care about them and you have their best interest in mind. You don't have to worry about all of this stuff that's changed in the industry in the last 12 months. If that's your focus, if you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm so upset because things have changed, your people are going to pick that up. So this is for you. All you have to do during the break is to come up here and take one. And there's 100 of them, so there's one for everyone. And I also have some more gifts. I have, Mia, is it Mia, right? I have these cards. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I only have 10. And I am just going to put them here. And you can come and get them if you like. Did you like this presentation? I would like to tell you that I probably would not be here if it were not for the fact that my uncle Victor Riley, back in 1972, he picked up a coin. This is true, this actually happened. He said, Gregory, I want to show you something. He took a coin just like this, and he said, Greg, look. And I said, what, Uncle Vic? He says, look closely. Look over here, Greg. Look over here. I said, what? And it was gold. And that changed my life. But it was just a trick. That's all it was. And I didn't really understand the lesson and the takeaway behind the trick until I was a lot older. You know, when I tell people I was born on Christmas, they're like, oh, man, you must have got gypped. You didn't get everything you wanted. I never was. I got everything I wanted. But it wasn't until later, it wasn't until much later, that I realized the lesson that I learned from my Uncle Victor. And that is, the conscious mind is distracted. That's my first point that I made today, that the conscious mind is distracted. It's like this little piece of coal that I have in my hand here. I didn't think much of it at all, just whatever, it doesn't mean anything. And the lesson I learned from my mother, a year later, that the unconscious is set, when she told me that, I did not believe that at all. I resisted that because I was stuck like this rock. I just didn't get it. And it wasn't until I hit bottom in my life and I started seeing patterns over and over again that I knew I needed to change. And when I met Kenton, he taught me something that I did not know. And that is, you must align your mind. And when you do, you will focus and you will be great. Thank you.
Wow, that was awesome. So we're going to have a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back at 2:15. So if you go out in the lobby, there should be a popcorn break for you. And we'll come back at 2:15 for the